everybody, it's Charles, also known as the Humble Mechanic here. For the last few years, I've been able to be a guest at the CRP booth at Apex. And this year, I am super pumped to be able to hang out on the virtual road tour. For the rest of our time together, CRP members are going to be walking us through what's on the horizon for the CRP family of brands. So without further ado, Abe, take it away.
Hello, my name is Abraham Garweg, CRP Industries Vice President of Innovation. I would like to introduce you to 3 kits that we developed in conjunction with our Innovation Council that are taking care of problems on 3 different drivetrain systems. We have here an automatic 5-speed transmission from Mercedes-Benz that was used from 1996 to 2018 on various Mercedes models, but also on Dodge, Chrysler, Maybach, and Robert cars. Then we have a BMW dual clutch transmission kit for G-Track dual clutch transmissions, which will be the second kit I can introduce to you. And this is a Haldex systems as Volvo, Volkswagen, Audi, Rover uses it. In this particular case, it's a Gen 3 Volvo system. So why did we develop these? Our council members made us aware that there's actually issues beyond regular service or maintenance. In this case, for instance, very often this plug develops a leak and ATF, automatic transmission fluid, comes out on the other side, wanders up the wiring harness to the external ECU conductor plate, which is this piece. Of course, most of the time, if it wanders all the way up here, it very, very often takes this piece out and the automatic transmission will no longer shift correctly or will go into emergency mode. So we recommend always when this transmission filter kit is changed, that this is changed alongside with it, and we have a kit for that. But if the problem was already occurring that the fluid went into the conductor plate, then we have this repair kit that includes this conductor plate and fixes the car. Great savings, job in a box. Again, the coverage is over 1 million Mercedes alone. I think with all the other makes that source this transmission from Mercedes-Benz, we're covering almost 1.3 million cars in the US and over 100,000 of them in Canada. Now this is for much later cars. Dual clutch transmissions are basically an innovation that came out of racing. You have a manual gearbox with 2 clutches. One always engages the gear, making shifting much, much faster than ever before. Very, very much the reason why it's been used in racing, very much the reason why it's being used in sporty cars. In the meantime, also being used because it's much more efficient as far as fuel efficiency versus a normal gearbox or an automatic gearbox. The system has wet clutches, so there's a lot of friction material that goes in. So it has also 2 filters, both of these, one main and one fine filter. And this oil pan, we found out, is actually one of the parts failing also. So these can fail just from taking so many heat cycles and warping. They can also fail because the car had contact. The part itself is made out of PA, plastic. So the third and final reason for it to fail is if these drain plugs do no longer engage correctly. So when this happens, of course, the pan comes off. It comes with, including as an assembly with the gasket. When it needs to come off, the fluid needs to come out, and obviously it should be serviced. Since this is such a popular mover, we decided with the council together that if a service is performed, all the filters plus the pan, all the hardware should be included because all of it needs to be replaced at the same time. Now, coverage on these is not anywhere near as high as on the Mercedes one, but these are very sporty models. All the BMW M models, from 135 to 335, we're starting at 300 horsepower output for these transmissions. These cars are driven hard, often see the racetrack, maybe on a Sunday racer, but quite often also professionally raced. So the service of these units is very, very, very important. These transmissions are also very costly. We have 2 kits covering all the BMW models from 2007 on, so 13 years of coverage, altogether right about, between the 2 kits, right about 100,000 cars. Last but not least, this Haldex system. Haldex is a 4-wheel drive system that has been developed in Scandinavia mainly for heavy-duty truck applications. Eventually, it was also applied to certain Audi, Volkswagen models. Volvo, of course, from Scandinavia, adapted it right about in the early 2000. And this kit goes all the way up to 2010. It's the model, they call it the 3rd generation of this kit. So you have an electric pump motor that usually fails because this fluid is not being changed and this filter is not being replaced. When that happens and this pump, this electric pre-pump needs to be replaced, all of this needs to be replaced obviously as well. So we made a nice little kit. It has all the hardware. It has the filter covering, the hardware that goes with the filter, and the approved fluid for this. Again, we try to create a job in the box for the technician, not to get stuck, and being able to finish the job complete with all necessary parts to his availability. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, Charles the Humble Mechanic back to wrap things up. On behalf of the entire CRP team, I'd like to thank you guys for letting the virtual roadshow take a swing through your office today. CRP has never been more driven, and hopefully you learned a few things today. Now, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Please feel free to reach out to your CRP representative.